This is the STRIPSACK DUALCAST. I'm the Huck.
I'm the Fat Man. You came here to hear some people talk some shit about the Jets. You're in the right place. Let's get it, Huck.
All right, guys. Just remember, if we get 15 likes on a video, the Fat Man has to say 5 nice things about Adam Gase. We do
How
our
could you say
recordings.
anything nice after that egg today? Jesus.
You do our recordings every Friday, every Monday, and every Tuesday. All right. Monday's recap: Patriots 30, Jets 27. OB1 Jacoby Myers with 12 receptions, 161 yards. What do you got, Fat Man?
That's for you, Big John. We made sure that we talked about your boy Jacoby Myers. The Jets fucking laid an egg, man. They were leading the whole game, and then they let the Patriots come back like that. How bad can it get?
I will say this about the Patriots. They found their run game again, 159 yards. I have to also say that this was the best game that the Jets played all year. They looked a lot better. Joe Flacco comes up big with 3 touchdowns, 18 for 25. This was a much better game than I even anticipated, and it was really enjoyable to watch.
Flacco is just a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. Go ahead, chew on that for a minute.
You know what? I got nothing. Darnold hasn't done anything all year. I got no argument for you.
So I know we talked at halftime, and the discussion kind of was, well, are the Jets going to just keep piling it on, or are the Patriots going to make a comeback? And we kind of agreed where it was like, there's nobody in the game better at making halftime adjustments than Belichick. And I think that just kind of proved it tonight is the Patriots might suck, but don't count Belichick out.
Yeah, they got a really tough game next week against the Ravens. We're really gonna see, if they are gonna bounce back or if they're just gonna get blown out by the Ravens. I think that's gonna be a very interesting game next week.
I don't think it'll necessarily be a blowout, but if Jacoby Myers had that good of a game, Cam must have did something right this week. He must have found his groove a little bit. So
and that's what the Patriots needed. They needed a playmaker and the receiver, one of the receivers, to step up like they did, and they really. Jacoby put on a clinic out there. It was nice. Huge third downs.
I can't believe the Jets let the game get away from them.
I can. It's the fucking Jets.
I know, but still, man. I picked the Jets to win this game because to me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, they both suck. The Jets got to win at some point. They played better last week. They seem to be getting a little chippy. I figure if they were going to win any game, it was going to be this week against the Patriots.
Yeah, well, them scoring 27 points, I think that's something that they could build on if they were going to go in any type of direction. So we'll see. They still got to play the Dolphins.
Yeah, the perfect way to build is you bench Darnold and you put Flacco in. And Miami already beat the Jets once, so.
Yeah, already beat a team twice.
I'm not too worried about the Jets, and I'm not really too worried about the Patriots coming back around either.
All right. I'm ready for some power rankings. Are you?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into it.
All right, I'll go first. Steelers, number 1. They are undefeated. Enough said.
They almost lost to the fucking Cowboys. Fuck out of here.
Did they lose?
Who the fuck did they beat?
Did they lose?
Who'd they beat? The Ravens and Titans.
They beat the 4-1 Browns. They beat the 5-0 Titans, and then they beat the Ravens at 5-1. All right? They were supposed to lose a game there. They didn't. I don't care if they almost lost to the Cowboys. They still won.
But they're called the Browns for a reason. Number 1, I got to change at the top. I put Kansas City. Kansas City's on top. Patrick Mahomes only has 1 interception all season. Ben Roethlisberger's hurt. Says he's going to be fine. He's an old man. He's getting gimpy. He took a lot of hits in his career. I'm worried about the Steelers right now.
Okay. My number 2, I put the Chiefs there. They're the defending champs, and they're finding ways to win. It was close, though. It was close. They almost lost.
Yeah, after all that shit I just talked about the Steelers, they're at number 2. I am worried about Ben, though.
Yeah. Number 3, I got the Ravens. Their only 2 losses this year is against 1 and 2.
So moving way up for me, the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, touchdown master. He's ahead of Tommy now. They put a whooping on the Bucs. I put the Saints at number 3.
Okay. Number 4, I got the Titans. They had a solid win against the Bears. This team could build off that. They kind of had a little skid there, but considering how bad the NFC has been, I couldn't put them any lower than any NFC teams.
Baltimore's at 4. Even though I don't completely trust Lamar Jackson, we all know he's not a complete quarterback, but he's a hell of a running back.
All right, number 5, I have the Seahawks. I think they're slightly the best team in the NFC. They just need to get better on defense, obviously. And honestly, if they just get a little better, I don't think there's really anybody stopping that offense.
5 is where I put Tennessee. I like Derrick Henry. I like that power run game. I think Mike Vrabel's a damn good coach. I think they're gonna be right there at the end of the year.
All right, number 6, I put the Saints. They swept the Bucs, who everybody thought was the best team in the NFL. And, that speaks volumes for me. Drew Brees looking great. I really like Alvin Kamara.
Number 6 is where I put the Bucs. They got their asses handed to them yesterday, and they looked terrible against the Giants lead into it. But I still think there's a lot of firepower there. I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll come out of it. I think they're still kind of learning how to play together, figuring it out. So I'm going to leave them at 6.
All right, number 7, I got the Bills. They are inconsistent, but, they've had a very nice win against Seattle. That offense looked pretty unstoppable, but I feel like it looked that way because Seattle's defense is so terrible.
Finally, we agree on one. 7, as much as it pains me, 7 is where I put Buffalo as well. They beat up on that high school defense that the Seahawks put out on the field every Sunday, so that's where I put Buffalo.
Number 8, this is where I got the Buccaneers. This team just needs to figure out their chemistry on offense, and they'll be just fine. I think AB might have messed up that chemistry just a little bit. Another high-caliber player just needs to get into the groove of things. Kind of takes away reps from Godwin and Evans, so we'll see how that offense looks going forward. They do have a 3-headed monster plus Gronk, Fournette. This team is still really good.
Number 8 is where I put Arizona. Kyler Murray's just he's a sight to behold, man. That offense, they have a lot of weapons. I think their weapons are right up there with Tampa Bay's. So number 8 is where Arizona's going to live for me right now.
Number 9, I got the Green Bay Packers. They get beat up on the bad teams. When you need them to do that, they're there. But beating a good team has yet to happen. So until that happens, I'm not moving up from 9. That's where they're at.
Number 9, I know you've been waiting for it to come out of my mouth. Number 9 is where I put Seattle. They fell hard for me. That defense, watching them makes me want to puke. But watching Russ and DK makes me smile.
At 10, I have the Miami Dolphins.
Tua!
With that win, they went 3-1 in the best division in the NFC. That's pretty impressive because I don't even think anybody in the NFC West is going to have that type of a win percentage in that division. So that's why I got them there at number 10.
I put Green Bay at number 10. Aaron Rodgers, he's a beast. Their defense, yeah, you can run all over them. I just can't. Trust me, I want to put Miami in the top 10. I want to put them at number 1. I can't do it till they overtake Buffalo for that division. I still think Green Bay is a little bit better than they are.
Okay. It's our power rankings. Definitely don't agree with your number 9 pick, but that's okay.
Of course not.
Got a reason, and I give that to you. The one thing I will say about that Seattle Bills game is I did like that they just kept fighting all the way to the end, and that's what Seattle's known for. That's why we have so many comebacks since Pete Carroll has been the head coach. So I'm pretty pleased with the way they looked on offense and the way the coaches were involved in that game. We just needed some type of a boost on defense.
The Bills didn't score a touchdown against the Jets. I rest my case.
I Seattle beat the Dolphins. I rest my case. All right, we're going to do something a little different here. It's the halfway mark. Every team has got at least 8 games. So we're going to predict the division winners for each division. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go to the AFC East. And I want to see the fat man get sad because I'm picking the Buffalo Bills to win this division with the Dolphins finishing second. I do think Miami is going to push them for this. They got to play one more time, and they could very much win that game. But I also believe that Belichick is going to try to foil some of these games here. So I'm going with Buffalo for the AFC East. I'm waiting for it.
Miami is going to win the AFC East. They haven't played the Bills yet. I don't think.
Week 2, they lost by 3.
Ah, that's all right. They're going to beat them at the end of the year. Bills ain't got shit. Miami's going to beat them. Bills are going to fall apart again. They got up for Seattle. They'll fall back apart.
Yeah, we'll see. I definitely think that team's a little inconsistent, and it was really tough for me to pick Buffalo over Miami because of how well Miami's played. That 3-1 record against the NFC West, like, this is a good football team.
Well, that's the thing, right? We haven't seen the Bills progress and get better. They've just kind of, if anything, they started coming apart. Miami, as the years gone on, has gotten a little bit better every week. So that's why I picked Miami.
Okay. Plus, you're a Dolphin fan.
Well, yeah, that helps.
All right, AFC North. I got the Steelers. I got the Ravens finishing close behind them. They do have another game that they have to play. I also believe that the Browns might sneak a win somewhere. So I think that the Steelers will still win somewhere around a 13-3, maybe 14-2. And looking at the rest of their schedule, there's a possibility this team could finish 16-0.
They're not going to finish 16-0. That's
I'm not saying they're going to. I'm saying there's a possibility. And until they lose a game, that possibility is still alive.
We'd be popping the champagne around week 12, bud.
Dolphin fan. They're not going to go 16. No. He can't go 16. I don't want any team to go undefeated.
But the Patriots did it.
I know. And then he celebrated their loss to the Giants.
Yeah, nobody wanted the Patriots to lose that game more than I did.
All right.
But the Patriots still won more games in a row. Were undefeated longer than Miami. Their run was back then. It was only a 12-game season. Anyway, I have Pittsburgh winning the North. Ravens a close second, yeah, but just as long as Ben stays in there and we don't have to deal with Mason Rudolph, I think the Steelers are going to be just fine. I think they're going to win that division.
Okay. AFC South, I'm going to go with the Titans. And I think that they're just kind of going to run away with this. I don't believe in the Colts at all. I don't believe in their offense. Phillip Rivers is very inconsistent. He's always been inconsistent. And he just looked like shit last game. So
what about the Jaguars? They got a shiny new quarterback.
I'm still thinking they're going to finish last.
Yeah.
I actually like the Texans a little more, so I got them third in this division. I think Texans – I just really like Deshaun Watson. He's an elite quarterback for me.
J.J. Watt. JJ, that's who I like on the Texans. That's the only reason to watch him. And Laramie Tunsil, he's a good player. I have the Titans winning that division too. I don't think anybody else is even going to come close. I think the Colts are faking it.
Yeah, they're definitely pretenders. AFC West. I'm going to go with the Chiefs with the Raiders sweeping them. I'm saying they're going to sweep them, all right? But I'm still saying the Chiefs are going to win the division. Raiders will finish second. I'm saying they're going to make the playoffs. I'm thinking they're going to finish 11-5, 10-6. This is a good football team. John Gruden, relax. The Chargers, I want to say, are the third best team in this division. They just find ways to lose. Like the Chiefs find ways to win. They just find ways to lose. And I want to get behind them. But Jesus, I feel for Chargers fans.
Yeah, I mean that's a franchise that had a lot of success and never got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For a few years there, they were probably the best team in the AFC, and they just couldn't win in the playoffs. This was hard because of my John Gruden love, but you're the champ until you're not the champ. So I took the Chiefs, but watch out, them Raiders are coming.
The Raiders.
They're coming.
NFC East. I got my pick. It's still hard for me to it's hard for me to say it, but I'm going to take the Eagles, and I think it's going to be a close race down the wire with the Giants.
Yeah, I have the Eagles written down, but the whole time we're sitting here talking, I'm thinking I might want to change that to the Giants. I'm still going to go with the Eagles. I think some guys are going to come back. Some guys are going to start getting healthy, and I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to win the division with 6 wins. I don't see anybody getting 7 wins in that division.
Well, I mean, that being said, I will say, as bad as their records are, that division is getting better week by week by week. Dallas looked horrible 4 weeks ago. And if you watch their progression in each game, they are starting to get better. Same with the Giants and even Philly. They're really scrappy. They lost close games against Steelers and the Ravens. So they might be a lot better than we think.
So that's what's really scary, right? So the NFC East, they're terrible this year. 2 years from now, that might be the best division in football.
Right.
Because we've seen it happen with like the AFC West. We've seen it happen with the NFC West, where the division is just the laughing stock of the league. And then 2 years later, you have all 4 teams in that division could be playoff teams. That's the crazy part.
That definitely happens too. All right. NFC North, I got the Packers. In a surprise in second place, I got the Vikings. I think they're going to start coming on a run. I think they found their groove. Just like last year, they had a shaky start last year, and then they just found their identity and started racking up some games. I even got the Vikings making the playoffs.
Yeah, this was an easy one. I took the Packers. I want to believe in Minnesota, but what's going to happen when you start stuffing Dalvin Cook? If you can stuff Dalvin Cook. I mean, we're week 9, and the guy finally had 2 big games up to this point. That the team's been terrible, and I would like to hope that the coaches are smart enough to realize what a talent they have sitting there. So I don't think it was by accident that it took 9 weeks.
Yeah. NFC South, I got the Saints, and I got the Bucks finishing second, and I think the Falcons are going to play spoiler in that division right there. I don't think they're going to push and be second place, but, if you look at their losses, that's all really close losses except for 2. But yeah, Saints already swept the Bucks. It's hard for me to say that the Bucks are going to win because they got to win 2 games, and Saints got to lose 2 games somewhere to be ahead of them.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to go with the Saints, and that's who I went with. I still think the Bucks are a playoff team. I think there's something wrong with you if you don't think they're going to make the playoffs. But I don't think they're going to win that division.
Yeah. NFC West, I think this was the second hardest division to try and break down. I want to be real here. I think the winner out of this division is only going to win 11 or 12 games because they're just going to start beating the snot out of each other. Seattle's got the Rams this week. I do think they're going to sneak it out. I think they'll finish first in the division, followed right behind by the Cardinals/Rams. this might be 11-5, 11-5, 11-5, 7-9, but this is the best division in football. It's very tough to try to see any of these teams taking complete control of the division. Go ahead, say it. I know you want to.
I'm taking the homer pick, going with the Cardinals. It's that Seattle defense. As long as they're getting gashed like that, good luck. I don't. The defense is what makes me doubt it. If the defense was just a little bit better, like stop something, I would say Seattle, because I think that offense is incredible. Like, we talked about it several times, how much I love DK Metcalf. Big, huge, physical, just fast. He runs like a deer. I just think the Cardinals are a little bit more of a complete team than Seattle right now.
I don't really disagree. I just think that offense is so prolific that there's no way you can count them out. I mean, there's even times in the last game where I felt like, oh shit, they're coming back.
Well, we said on the last show. Well, you said on the last show, Seattle's averaging 34 points a game.
Yep.
And well, that's great, but your defense can't give up 35.
I don't disagree.
That's the hard part. And like, everybody's coming out and they're jumping on, oh, Miami's defense is legit. They're so good. They're so good. The only stat they're really good at is keeping guys from scoring. I mean, people are still gashing them for yards. Kyler Murray had 400 freaking yards on them by himself. So that defense is still getting gashed. They're just keeping guys out of the end zone, and that's what you got to do. If Seattle could keep teams to kicking field goals like they did Miami when they played, then okay, I would pick Seattle. But I can't, not with that defense right now. There's no way.
No arguments for me. All right, Thursday's pick here: Colts at Titans. I think this is easy for me. I'm going to take the Titans. For the Colts, they literally have to be more consistent on offense. Phillip Rivers has to play better. The Titans just need to keep doing what they've been doing, and I think they're going to squeak out with an easy win.
I think Phillip Rivers is going through his cold streak right now. Yeah, the funny part, him and Ryan Fitzpatrick are very similar. The only difference is Rivers maintained being the starter throughout his whole career. I'm taking the Titans.
Okay.
The Titans are just a better football team than the Colts. It's that simple.
Yep.
I don't really see too much with the Colts to get super excited about. Yeah, Titans are going to win. I think it'll be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game. Which
I don't know. I think the Titans are going to win by like 10 points.
Which, in my opinion, when I say it's going to be a close game, that probably means somebody's going to end up getting a molly-whopping, because every time I think it's going to be a blowout, it works out the other way.
It's true.
So
it's true. All right, that's all I got, man.
No, I kind of hold on. I want to kind of venture into something else here, and I know we didn't write it down because it just came to me as we were sitting here going through everything. A couple shows ago, we talked about MVP. We talked about who the best young quarterback is. Who do you think is going to be Rookie of the Year?
I think Justin Herbert's going to take it. I think that Justin Herbert is putting up a lot of touchdowns, and he's definitely going to push the record for the touchdown passes. Joe Burrow's right there. I think Tua started too late in the season to have an argument, but I mean, who knows? What if the guy goes undefeated throughout? Then it's going to be tough to say. Or maybe he only loses one game, Then what? And then it might be Tua. But I mean, I'm just going to say this. I think it's Justin Herbert. How about you? Go ahead. Tua time, guys. I think Tua is good.
No, it can't be, because it's too late in the year. I mean, all right, so if he goes ahead and he wins 8 games and they have a deep run in the playoffs, sure, we might look back and say, well, it should have been Tua. But when we talked the other day, I talked about how much I like, Justin Herbert, I thought was the best young guy. I think it's going to be Joe Burrow. I think it's going to because, you know, when you look at him and Herbert, their numbers are about the same. Burrow has less interceptions in more games. Burrow has less talent. That's why he was the number 1 overall pick. So if I'm hedging my bets, I think it's hard to pick against Joe Burrow right now.
It's going to be between them. I think I got to say that they both have tremendous upside, especially Herbert. You know, big guy, strong arm, makes plays with his legs and his arm at the same time. He's a playmaker. Burrow's just, you know, he's really smart. He's that Andrew Luck type of quarterback that everybody likes. Scan the field, make a read, throw. I just want to see more, you know, more of the giant arcing passes for completions. You know, I like seeing that. I want to see a little bit more touch out of him, but I don't know. The edge for me goes a little bit to Justin Herbert.
Tua is more that Drew Brees type. Underrated but accurate.
Yeah, there you go. Underrated but accurate. How was his first game again? I'm just curious. I can't remember.
But it was his first game in a year.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Excuses.
Coming off a broken hip.
Excuses.
Well, yeah, we'll make all the excuses we want when Miami wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's coming. I'll tell you what I was glad to see today. I was glad to see them guys on Fox Sports eating shit. I was glad to see that. That made my heart smile.
Yeah, until next week and he has a bad game and then they're talking shit.
You see, it was the fucking Rams defense that he had a bad game against.
So?
So? We'll see.
How did Josh Allen do against that defense?
We'll see how Seattle does against that defense.
The real team that's going to win that division.
Bringing up old shit. Don't worry, bud. I got a fucking towel here for you to cry on come playoff time.
Well, I won't cry because we're going to win.
It's all full of stains. Rusty ones.
All right, man. I'm out. What do you got?
All right, man. So, as we always tell you guys, make sure you head over to our Facebook page, talk some shit. Give us ideas. Let us know what you want to hear about. Trust me, I'm not above calling you guys out on the show. You know, I mentioned our buddy Big John today. He knows who he is. I don't have to say his last name. Make sure when you watch us on the YouTubes, you're hitting subscribe, you're hitting like, and turn your notifications on so you know when we put out this new content. We might throw out a couple specials here and there. We might have a couple special guests. One Saints fan in particular I have in mind. And you know, you could find us to listen to us just the audio. Plug us in your ear holes. Sitting there and getting paid to take a poop at work. You know, like we always say, Spotify, Apple, Google, Breaker. There's like 8 different platforms. So feel free to download us wherever you like to listen to us at.
Yep.
Anything else there, Hawk?
Nope. Everything you said. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the Fat Man.
See you guys next time.